Hello everyone, welcome. Today I would discuss a few very basic topics on mathematics, but our approach will not be the formal one because I want to introduce you to mathematics in a unsystematic manner, systematically, which is I would try to dig into the basic problems of people who are dealing in mathematics in everyday life, and which is very strange because we have a lot of terms in mathematics and science subjects which we don't usually use in daily basis. That makes the subject very difficult. In that situation, we need to make the subject a little bit easier. I certainly will not try to make the things similar to classroom, but I would certainly try to make them a little bit easier. Now, there are two topics: basic arithmetic and algebra. I see many people do not understand them. The basic difference between arithmetic and algebra. Let me remove this. What is the basic different difference between arithmetic and algebra? Now, arithmetic can be simply said is the addition or subtraction or multiplication of two or more numbers, as well as division. That is arithmetic. Whereas algebra is division, subtraction, and calculations based on alphabets, or rather, in many situations, they are variables. And in those kind of calculations, we use a hell lot of formulas, and which we would see. For example, arithmetic can be basic: A plus B is equal to C. Another, it's addition uh, operation, and there is a subtraction operation: a minus b is equal to c. Also, we can make a multiplication: a into b, maybe c, or a divided by b, also maybe c. These are basic rules of arithmetic operation or basic arithmetic function that you would see through examples. Now, why am I saying all these things? It's not very difficult to understand this kind of basic stuff, but I want to remember or repeat the basic steps that we do in mathematical operation every day. For example, if the situation from here shifts into x square plus y square is equal to z square, or if I say a square plus b square is equal to c square, or I say h square is equal to p square plus b square. Now, when I write this, you see all the previous two equations and the equation below are kind of similar. And what is this equation specifically known as? It is known as Pythagoras theorem. And what it says a right angle triangle, a right angle triangle. In a right angle triangle, this is known as hypotenuse, which is the slope, and denoted by h. This is known as b, which is the base of the triangle, and this is known as, this side is b, which is the perpendicular. Now, how and why it is perpendicular? It is perpendicular to base. This is the perpendicular sine, also 90 degree. We can either write this or both. So in this calculation, if we know any two sides of this triangle, provided the triangle is a right angle triangle, we can find out the other side. For example, if I know hypotenuse and base, I can find out perpendicular. If I know perpendicular and hypotenuse, I can find out base. If I know base and perpendicular, I can find out hypotenuse. And here in this formula, I put in the values and do the calculation and get them. Now, this is kind of a simple equation. Now, see this term or the type of equation that changes from simple addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division going into squares. The sudden shift. There are another example that I'd like to say. For example, a square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Now, you see, these equations are very different. This is an equation, but the powers here are 1, which is not written. Here the power changes to 2. And here, one of the variable has power 2, another one has 1, which is not said. And here, we said that x to the power 0, where x to the power 0 is equal to 1. Therefore, you see there is a sudden decrease in the power of x to the power 2, x to the power 1, x to the power 0. So that's why we use the simple form of ax squared plus bx is equal to c. And this equation is popularly known as quadratic equation. Now, this kind of stuff, these are basic mathematical operations and skills that we need to have in order to appear in the board examinations in India. For example, class 10, NIOS board, CBSE board, ICSE board, and many of the students, they don't have such basic knowledge, or they have some foggy or shady uh, understanding about the concepts of mathematics. Well, back when I was a student, I was not so much confident about myself as well. But everything takes time, and we are usually successful. We just need to practice, and we need to be calm and composed and repeat our lessons and see the things as they are, not to stress out. Stress makes the things become very difficult, and we end up doing and performing bad, which we could have done easily. So, moving on, we know a lot of calculations, a lot of powers, a lot of pluses and minuses. So I would like to discuss a few equations, popular equations. A plus B square, which can be written as A square plus twice AB plus B square. A minus B square. A square minus twice AB plus B square. Now, if you notice, when I change the sign of plus here, the sign in front of 2AB is also plus. When I change the sign here from plus to minus, the sign up upon expansion of this formula is minus. So it's not very difficult to remember these two formulas. We just need to remember the place of sign, and we are good to go. Moving on, if we see the formula a plus b whole to the power 3, it can be expanded as a to the power 3 plus 3a squared b plus 3ab squared plus b to the power 3. Now again, this can be written as a to the power 3 plus 3ab. We check 3 and 3 from both the variables. We check 1a, 1a. We took 1b, 1b. And the remaining after this, after taking 1a, there remains another a, because we take from it is 1 plus 1 to the power 2, we can write as 1 plus 1. So we take 1a here, and here the b is also 1 plus 1. So we take another b here, plus b cube. Now still I understand that many people may not understand how this 1 plus 1 and 1 plus 1 minus 1 or whatever it is. So I would write it here in simple form: a to the power 3 plus 3a into a into b. I have expanded this, plus this one I would expand as 3a into b into b. There was a b square. I've written 2b. So b to the power 1, b to the power 1, a to the power 1, a to the power 1. You see? And then I write b to the power 3, which again from here I take the common ones like 3a, 3a. It's common in both the terms. 1b, 1b. It's common in both the terms. So what do I get? I get the same stuff that I wrote at the end here, which is, in the shorter form, can be written as 3a, 3ab, 3ab. Remaining is a plus b plus b cube. This is the situation in a plus b cube. Another situation, if I change this minus sign, this plus sign into minus, what would happen? Let's find out. A minus b to the power 3. A to the power 3